Hello to the employees of American Pacific Forwarders. My name is Craig Prince, and CAP Insurance Services is the broker for the group health insurance for American Pacific Forwarders. And I want to say up front that if you have questions, feel free to give me a call, Craig Prince, at 909-717-9735, or you can also call 909-590-4405, which is the office number, and ask for extension 102. Or you can call that same 909-590-4405 and dial 0 and ask to speak to Joshua Prince, and we're both happy to help you. We want to talk to you today about the voluntary benefits that you have that are offered through Choice Builder. And this would include the dental and vision options, and so we'd like to talk about the coverage as it is. So the first thing I'd like to do is to basically talk about the Delta Care HMO, dental HMO benefits. And what you can see on here is that Delta Care USA is the insurance company, Delta Care, if you will. This type of plan, being a dental HMO, has no annual maximum. It has no upfront deductible. And that most items, unless they're covered at 100%, will have a copay that will be listed. The silver plan, let's just go over that coverage. Your exams and the diagnostic coverage is all handled at 100%. You pay nothing out of pocket. Your restorative services, which would be items like a filling, and I'm going to use as an example a single surface filling, would be a $5 copay on this plan. A 2-surface filling would be a $10 copay. 3-surface would have another copay. These are just examples of the copays that you'd have depending on how many tooth surfaces that those cavities are touching. Crowns would have a copay of $195 if it was a porcelain fused to base metal, and on a posterior, which is the back teeth, that's your back teeth, the molars, and then of course just a full cast noble metal crown would be a $200 copay. All right. As you can see, on periodontics, the most frequent item that people deal with is the periodontal scaling and root planing. And what this is where they go in, and it's what some people refer to as deep cleaning. So they divide your mouth into 4 quadrants: the upper left, the upper right, the lower left, and the lower right. And so you pay $30 copay for each quadrant to be cleaned. The endodontics, which is your root canals, for a single root canal, which typically is a front teeth, that would be an $85 copay. A bi-root canal, which is your bicuspids, the biters, if you will, is a $150 copay, and then the molar root canal is a $280 copay. There's, like I said, no waiting periods for any of the work that you receive in terms of procedures. And oral surgery, removal of uncomplicated single tooth is a $5 copay. Removal of an impacted partially bony tooth is $75 copay, and the removal of a completely impacted tooth is a $95 copay. Of course, all these copays are assuming that these procedures are being done at your dentist's. The orthodontics has a $1,700 copay, and that is what I call for the heavy metal. That's the metal that goes on your teeth. Does not count the copays. Don't include the case studies, which are additional cost. And then adult orthodontia is $1,900. Prosthodontics, which would be your dentures, upper and lower, would be $215 and $180 respectively. Of course, as you see, the gold plan, it's a little bit richer, meaning that the copays that you pay are a little bit less, and of course the cost will reflect that. And when you look down here on the cost of the Delta Care HMO, you'll see the cost for the employee only, and then the additional cost if I want to add a spouse, or the additional cost if I want to add just children, a child or just children, and then the additional cost for family, which is right over here, is listed right here. So that means that whatever I'm going to choose, if I choose just myself, it's going to be decided. If I choose, as an example, to put myself and my spouse and children on, it's going to be the cost that's listed here plus the cost that's listed here. Okay? And the same for the gold. The cost that's listed here, if it's just for myself, or the additional cost is going to be added to this cost, depending on how I want to add, whether it's whether it's a spouse only, whether it's children only, or whether I want to add my whole family on the coverage. The PPO dental is done through Madison National. All three plans that you'll see have a $1,500 annual maximum benefit, and all three plans have a annual deductible of $50 copay on this, and it's a $100 copay on the Platinum plan. And the reason is because that's a lifetime deductible that applies on the Platinum plan, where these are calendar year deductibles. Your preventative care deductible applies, and then after you pay the deductible, the coverage is 100% on the preventative and 100% on the same for the gold. The Platinum covers it at 80%. Again, the reason that occurs is because these are not calendar year deductibles. This is a lifetime deductible for this plan. And you'll also see some other differences. Your basic coverage, which would be your drills and fills, that type of thing, is going to be covered at 80% across the board. The major work, which would be your crowns, caps, crowns, and such, is going to be at 50%. And now you'll notice that on the silver plan that the endodontic, which are the root canals, and the periodontics, which is the gum issues, are covered at 50% on this plan, at 80% on this plan, and at 80% on this plan. So if you will, endodontics and periodontics on the gold and the Platinum plan are treated as the same as basic coverage, and not as major coverage. But on the silver plan, it is covered at the 50%. And then your restorative, which is your fillings and such, you know, again, is going to be at 80% across the board here. On this, there's no orthodontia coverage for this plan, then you'll notice that the coverage under the out-of-network option on the silver plan drops clear down if you go to out-of-network dentist, clear down to $500. And what you'll also note when you see down here is has a lifetime coinsurance with a lifetime maximum of $1,000 out-of-network. So understand that, you know, that's $1,000 out-of-network lifetime max for the orthodontia. I'm sorry. Understand that you really reduce your benefits on out-of-network for the silver plan. The gold, again, reduces it, but it only reduces it in half, and you can see the lower copays. But you can see that on the Platinum plan, that you don't derive lesser benefits if you go out-of-network. It is the same as the in-network benefits. So anyway, that gives you an idea on the dental coverage. Once again, for the dental PPO, depending on the plan that you want, it's going to be the employee only plus the additional cost for the spouse. This plus this if you're just putting child or children on. This plus this if you're going to put the whole family on. And that's the dental coverage. For the voluntary vision, you'll notice that they offer the vision service plan. They offer the gold and the Platinum plan. I know they look a lot alike, but I will explain the differences. It's a $10 copay for the eye examination. The frames have a $150 frame allowance. The single vision, bifocal, and trifocal lenses are a $25 copay on both plans. And contact lenses give you a $150 allowance. The big difference here is going to be on how often you can utilize the service. So for this 12 means that every 12 months you can get an eye examination. Every 12 months you can get frames, and every 24 months you can get lenses. On this plan, it's every 12 months you can get eye examination, every 12 months you can get frames, and every 12 months you can get the lenses covered under that. Okay? And so your VSP coverage for the gold, it's $8.80 for the employee rate. An additional, one dependent additional would be the $880 plus the $851. And the two or more would be $880 plus the $1909. And again, Platinum $10.73 if it's just the employee only. If you're adding one dependent on, it's the $10.73 plus the $10.43. If you're adding two or more dependents on, it's going to be the $10.73 plus the $23.33. So if you have any questions regarding this, please make sure that you ask those. And we also ask that you complete the application, and I will show you the application here momentarily. And the application means you complete it if you want the coverage. If you don't want the coverage, you complete the waiver on this application. Even though it's voluntary, you need to complete the waiver, which shows that you've been offered the plan, but that you don't want the plan. All right. If you want to look up the dentist, you can look up the dentist by going to the website, and this website is www.deltadentalins.com. When you get to the website, it will look like this. And for example, if I wanted to find out a dentist, and I wanted, let's say I lived in Chino, I would put my zip code as 91710. I would select the Delta Care USA because that's the plan that I'm going for, and then I would hit search. When I hit search, you'll notice that it'll open up and it will show me all the dentists within 15 miles, and it shows well over 100 dentists that are within 15 miles. I can close that radius by going within 5 miles of that, and then it will clear it up again and search again, and it will show the results. There's still over 100 dentists that are within 5 miles. So this gives you an opportunity to find the dental plan. Let's just say, for example, that you wanted this Family Dental Center that's over on Riverside. If you choose that, you'll notice that the Delta Care facility number is listed right here as 367601. That's 367601. And so that gives you an idea of how to access the dentist for the dental HMO plan that's being offered. The links for the dental PPO and the VSP can be found by going to www.choicebuilder.com. And when you're in this and you see this screen right here, click on here, which is the provider search button. And if you want to know what the Madison plan is, and again, when you're looking at the gold and the platinum plans with Madison, if that was what I was looking for, I'd click on this, which takes me to the search screen, and it looks to me like it's administered through Aetna. And you're going to search for primary care dentists, and we'll just put the primary care dentist. And again, if the zip code's 91710 and I wanted to find dentists that were within 5 miles, then I'm going to search, and the dentists that are listed would be down here. So again, if I wanted Dr. Charles Hart, I could view the details on Dr. Hart, and although on the application I don't have to list that dentist, this gives me more information about Dr. Hart, languages spoken in his office, and any questions of contact that I may have or want to see there. Okay. If I go back to the here, and I wanted to see the VSP providers, all I'd need to do is click into the VSP, and then once again I can search by zip code. Okay, and I'm going to select the state of California. Actually, I don't have to do that. I don't have to choose that. It's going to be the Choice Network, and I click, and when I click on there, if Dr. Wayne Martin was the vision provider I wanted, I could go to that, and understand that on VSP it's not an HMO plan, so you can choose any of these optometrists that you want that are listed in here, and simply find the information that's applicable in terms of their office hours and where this plan is from you. All right, so if you have any questions, give us a call. We'll go over the application next. Okay, we're now going to go over the application and completing the application for the Choice Builder. So what you'll do is you'll select New Hire Enrollment. That's what you would likely be doing this for. The company, your company's information, including the name of the company, your employer phone, your job title, and your date of full-time employment is important. Put down your sex, your marital status, your last name, your first name, your middle initial, your social security number, your date of birth, and the group number. They need to know your physical address, even though the mailing address may be different. They need to know your physical address, and you can certainly put your mailing address in this information here. On enrollment information, you'll notice that they've crossed out all of this information because, if you will, they've gotten all this information from that first section A that you just completed. But down here at the bottom here, you need to summarize whether or not you're applying for dental or for vision. And on your account, there's no chiro that's being offered, so that it's going to be dental and vision. And then you'll notice if you're going to include your spouse, you'll include their information with that information that they're asking here, and also indicating how you're enrolling your dependents. And understand that you could enroll your dependents on dental and not vision. That's fine too. This is simply a place where you recap how you're enrolling your dependents. Okay. We'll go to section C. If you are going to be going on the Delta Care Gold or Silver plan, that's where you'll mark here. And if you're doing that, you're going to list your name. And by the way, this information down here is only going to be filled out if you're selecting the dental HMO. And the reason being is because you're going to need to tell us where that primary dental office is and that office facility number, which we talked about a couple minutes ago, and what city that office is in. Okay? So that would be for yourself, and then that information for your spouse and the children that you're enrolling. If you have gone through here, you're confused, and or you really don't care who you get as a dentist, you can mark this box here, and the plan will assign you a dentist. Typically, they'll do it geographically closest to the center of your zip code. All right, but this is really important. Now, if you mark the EPO or the PPO plans, one of these plans here, you don't need to pick a primary care dentist, and therefore you don't have to list that. Although I certainly would go through the dental list as I had shown you how to go through to make sure you're getting a PPO dentist, as you'll get the best value out of that. Okay. On the vision, again, the plans you're being offered are the platinum and the gold plans, and so you'll want to mark that, and that's why it says see worksheet for plan availability, but mark the plan that's available to you. Okay, and you don't have to worry about the chiropractic or the life because it's not being covered under that. You do want to mark here that you want your portion of the eligible insurance premiums paid on a pre-tax basis. That means that the deduction for these benefits, even though they're voluntary, can come out on a pre-tax basis, which means that if you had a deduction that was going to equal, let's say, $100, that literally about $75 would come out of your paycheck, and the other $25 would be the benefit of doing it on a pre-tax basis. The next screen is the legal acknowledgments for each of the plans that you read through. And then, of course, the most important thing that you do is that you sign it, print your name, and date it. If at the end of the plan offering you determine that you don't want it, and or if you have dependents and you do not want to insure the dependents, we do need a waiver. So you can either waive yourself and dependents, or you can just waive the dependents that are eligible for you if you don't want to insure them, and then indicate what you're waiving them for, whether you're waiving them for dental only or for vision only, or if you're waiving all of the coverage for both of you for dental and for vision. And again, then you would sign down here. So if you're waiving coverage for everybody in the family, the only place where you need to sign is going to be down here. Okay. If you're just waiving it for certain members of the family but enrolling others, then you'll need both the signatures on the application and the signature on the waiver. If you have any questions, give our office a call. We're here to help you. Thank you.